All right, so apparently Marcus Morris last night stepped on Luka Dončić's ankle. I missed that. I was coming in and out on the game. It was just such a blowout last night, so we speak on that. Also going to talk about Jamal Murray going into like he going into the he going into just another lane, another stratosphere. You know what I'm saying? And talk about him in a minute. But hey, let's talk about some NBA. Check out our NBA Talk playlist. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Appreciate the love, support. But yeah, apparently Marcus Morris stepped on Luka Dončić's ankle last night, and it seemed to be intentional. Now, in the sport of football, that happens all the time. That's why you got the Patriots. They really don't be trying to say what's wrong with their players because that's what they do. You get in those piles or you get out there and you get physical. We know you got a left ankle injury. We going to tug on it. We know you got a hand injury in that pile. We going to pull on it. We going to step on it. That's just the nature of football. And in the NBA, where used to be no boys allowed, that's really never been the nature of the NBA. Even going back to the beginning is to exploit an injury for one of his players, all right? To me, it was dirty. It was out of line. Luka Dončić basically said, he put out a statement after the game saying that Marcus Morris was talking shit to him the whole game and that, basically he had just been chirping at him the whole game and, he didn't want to say it was intentional, but pretty much most people thought it was intentional and people asked for Marcus Morris to be suspended for Game 6. That's coming up, was it Thursday night? Personally, does it deserve a suspension? I mean, I hate to suspend somebody in a series like this, but when you do something that blatant, you know what I'm saying, it got to be dealt with. Montrezl Harrell didn't get fined for calling for calling Luka Dončić with a bitch ass white boy, whatever he said. And my whole thing about it is the reason they ain't suspend him is because everything that's been going on with the Black Lives Matter movement and stuff of that nature, and to suspend him for saying that can basically not look good. They already been isolated they fans or they Trump supporters that don't like them, kneeling and stuff of that nature. So I don't think the NBA really wanted to take that route where, they wanted to really, lose black fans and lose white fans. This is what happens when you bring politics into the workplace. They shouldn't be kneeling or doing nothing. People say, why? It doesn't solve nothing. All right. And I've been going over this time and time again. The only thing that's going to stop them from killing unarmed and innocent black people is an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth mentality. But this is not the platform for that. I don't speak on those causes anymore because I didn't get the support at all. So you can go to another channel, you can get that there. But yeah, I wouldn't be mad if they suspended Marcus Morris for what he did, especially with Luka saying added up where they talking shit to him and he getting malicious with him. And that's trash talk. But once you add that on when he stepped on his ankle and tried to hurt his ankle again, I don't think it's no place for that. Obviously, you trying to take him out the game, and that's the only entertainment we got going during this game right now is Luka taking on, the superpowers and the super friends of the Los Angeles Clippers. Even though they don't have Patrick Beverly and they got a half Montrezl Harrell, they still got playoff packing P or pandemic P, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Lou Williams. They still got a good players out there, Marcus Morris, and he really going up against, two superstars against one. You know what I'm saying? And you still got to sit there and you got to still injure him because he's going crazy. And maybe that's one of the reasons why he wasn't able to get started last night because his knee was already, or his ankle was already injured. And I just think it was out of bounds. It was uncalled for. And I've been pretty consistent on ball players. I don't care if you white or black. If you can hoop, I don't really see color. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be sitting here some ignorant shit Shannon Sharp said if he was black, he'd be the rave. No, Luka is the rave. White, black, orange, Simpson, yellow. He is the rave. He is the truth. I said it before he even took a dribble in the NBA. I said he wasn't no Ricky Rubio. He the truth. I put the video in the community tab. It had to be probably the last video I put in the community tab. I said it 2 years ago before he took a dribble that he was the best player coming into the NBA and he was going to be the truth. And like I said before, I just love basketball. Some of my favorite players of all time is white. Pete Maravich, Larry Bird. Tom Chambers was dope. So it's been a lot of really good white people. Mark Price is one of the most forgotten basketball players. He shot damn near perfect from the free throw line. He was one of the best players to do it in the pick and roll. People thought Steve Nash was something nice. They should have seen what Mark Price was in the pick and roll and the team that Michael Jordan beat with him, Brad Daughtry, and the young Ron Harper before the knee injury. That was a great team. So when it comes to sports, man, I really don't see no color. Does it get on my nerves when they try to push somebody as the next great white hope? It get on my nerves when they try to push a black hope. You know what I'm saying? I've been consistent. I think Michael Vick is one of the most overrated folktale fucking heroes in the NFL history. He black. You know what I'm saying? I ain't a Cam Newton fan. I like Tom Brady though. You know what I'm saying? He went to the University of Michigan. Before Drew Brees did what he did, I followed his career all the way to Purdue. So it really don't matter. I've been saying that Christian McCaffrey is the best running back in the NFL since last season, and a lot of people don't want to accept that he's a great running back. It doesn't matter. White, black, green, yellow. In sports, a baller is a baller. You know what I'm saying? And I said before he stepped foot into the NFL, when I seen him play at Stanford, return kicks, and what he did at Stanford, I said, this ain't no Toby Gerhardt. I said it. You know, but some people got a hard time in accepting that, man. And I don't. A baller is a baller no matter what the color and what the race or the ethnic background is in. And Luka Dončić is a baller, and I believe Marcus Morris should be suspended for what he did. It might sound callous, it might sound hard. It might even up to serious with them not having Marcus Morris and already lacking depth. And them not having Kristaps Porzingis, who probably may not play Thursday because of his other knee is injured. Now, it could be the same knee and they could be protecting him that he injured in New York, but it also could be the opposite knee. So you really never know with these ball clubs. So I stand on the side that Marcus Morris should be suspended. And don't forget, Marcus Morris played for my Pistons, and his brother Markieff Morris played for the Pistons this year. And I like the Morris twins coming out of Kansas, and I don't really like too many Kansas Jayhawks overall to begin with. But what he did yesterday, and if it's adding up what Luka said, he deserved to sit his ass out of the game. And it didn't even have to come to that with a step on that boy's foot, and they trying to bully him like he's soft or some shit. He ain't soft. Them motherfuckers that come from where he come from, Tony Kukoc and Eastern Europe, man, they fight way tougher battles than what you could bring on a basketball court. So I think he deserved to be suspended. Some people may disagree with me. You know, it is what it is. But I wasn't aware it happened until like last night that Emmanuel Acho, former football player out of Texas, he shared it, and he definitely deserved to be suspended. And I'm just keeping 100 on that. Now, Jamal Murray is out here going crazy, single-handedly lifting the Denver Nuggets up, and he's showing that he a baller. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, when you a baller like that, ain't too much you can do about it, man. You know, when he get hot, Donovan Mitchell couldn't stop him. He had his mind made up that it's time to win, and too often we don't see those Canadian players play with that fire. You know what I'm saying? He playing with an American hood ghetto edge to him. You know what I'm saying? He playing like he from East Oakland. He playing like he from Chicago, New York, Baltimore. He playing with that edge, and that's what you got to play with that fire. He lifting that team up, and Jokic don't have that fire, bro. Jokic don't have that dog in him. So somebody on that team got to have that dog in him, and usually that's Will Barton. But now Jamal Murray showing that he arriving as a superstar, and if he continue to bring them back, you know, in his series, and he continue to have a great series, man, he gonna be in that best point guard list. You want to put him up there, you know, with Westbrook and the rest of those dudes. Chris Paul, he coming. The problem with Denver right now is they're in a transitional mode. No Gary Harris, Paul Millsap is starting to fade away. No Will Barton. Those are the guys they turn to turn their swag up to put their killer instinct in. Now they have to find a way to implement Michael Porter Jr. and make him feel comfortable in the offense. Jamal Murray feel comfortable, and Jokic can be what Jokic be. He could be a passive big man, but they really got to have Michael Porter Jr. become that next killer. And physically, if he can become that next killer, they'd be in a nice little swag. But you know, Jamal Murray's just going on a totally different level. He going crazy. He going donkey. He going dumb. And if he continue that, man, you know, he ain't got to worry about facing the issues that Paul George and that James Harden facing in today's league. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got to worry about that, man. All he gonna have to do is worry about, you know, just winning it. Right now, he's showing that he one of the best big-time performers. He made a lot of big shots. And Jamal Murray going to arrive. As we got a few guys in Harden and Paul George who don't show up in the postseason, somebody got to replace the Kobe Bryants of the world. Somebody got to replace the Hakeem Olajuwons and guys that show up in big moments, the Reggie Millers of the world. And Jamal Murray sound like he going to be in that class. Hopefully he can get over the hump and Denver and get him a championship. But what he did yesterday was major. When he split the defenders at half court, spin and came back and did a 360 layup. That was nasty. He a baller. He deserved his money, and he gonna be one of the best point guards in the league once he figure out how to facilitate a little bit better. But he may be right behind as far as point guards. He might be right behind Chris Paul as the best pick and roll point guard going right now. But that boy's serious, man. I thought they should have moved him at one point, but they got it together, and he might be saving Mike Malone's job. But talking about job security, Indiana Pacers fired Nate McMillan. I'm like, what? Because it was reported that it said Indiana was interested in Mike D'Antoni if he leaves the Houston Rockets, right? And I'm like, Indiana, Indiana, I'm thinking the college. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember their last coach. They've been asked for a minute. I'm like, Tom Crane still coaching over there? And then I comment on one of my boys' posts. I said, what they talking about, Indiana College? And then he reposted that they fired Nate McMillan. I'm like, are you serious, dog? Nate McMillan did more with less in Indiana with multiple injuries and this, that, and the third. And like I said, man, before, man, we got a short leash when it comes to black head coaches in the sport. Even though in the NFL and the National Basketball Association, where like 80-90% of the players are black, the coaches, international coaches get more of a chance than we do, and that's a shame that I thought Nate McMillan was a really good coach, man. Hey, since they got rid of Nate McMillan, my Pistons, check my other channel out, Water Street Sports Talk. Go ahead, fire Dwayne Casey and get Nate McMillan. Nate McMillan, he played in the league. He was solid, but he a legit coach. He did a great job coaching Indiana the last few years, but obviously Indiana felt the need to want to move on. I mean, Victor Oladipo wasn't healthy. Sabonis wasn't healthy. They had a good year this year, too. Jeremy Lamb didn't make it to the bubble, and Michael Brogdon was injured some parts of this year's wheel starting the bubble, but just let you know, man, they don't give us a long leash. How many black coaches in the league had a long leash like Greg Popovich? Not too many, you know what I'm saying? And that's why you got Jerry Stackhouse coaching at Vanderbilt. Juwan Howard, they said his name started ring bell in the NBA. He said, I'm staying at Michigan. I mean, you got, Patrick Ewing had to go to Georgetown. So we got to fight the hard way just to get opportunities, and we got a short leash. So fuck Indiana, bro. Like, fuck them with an A stick sideways, man. That was a bitch move. But hopefully Nate McMillan fall back and get a great coaching job. He one of the best coaches going in the NBA. He leads top 10 easily, man. But let me know what you thought about the video. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, query, sponsorship, a video request. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation to the channel? Cash App, PayPal, description. Best way to donate is share the video. My Cash App is CJGood313. PayPal link in the description. Don't forget, once again, you can check me out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We also have a Facebook group. If you ever have a YouTube question, business inquiry, sponsorship, video request, whatever that situation may be, Twitter is the fastest way to IG and Facebook. Don't hesitate to hit me up. I'll hit you back expeditiously if my time, proves that to be the right thing to do. But I appreciate the love and support one time for the one time we gone.